Thank you for joining us on the 127th episode of Sawdust Nation Podcast. This episode, we're going to be doing something a little bit different than our norm. We're going to be providing you the raw and uncut version of the episode. This is what our Patreons in the third tier get to receive every week. So if you enjoyed the raw and uncut version, please subscribe to our Patreon account. A word of caution though, there will be adult humor throughout the episode along with some swearing. So if little ears are afoot, please remove them from the area or listen with headphones. With that, we hope you enjoyed this raw and uncut version, and happy listening.
It's a card. Oh, hey, are we? No way.
Yeah,
Well,
I think we're live.
If you're listening to this, it's the 127th episode of the Sawdust Nation Podcast.
Hold the fuck on. Act like you're excited to be here and get the fucking shoe out of your ass. See what happens when he shaves the mustache? All of a sudden he acts like he's like, I don't know, he's got
Smooth
fucking
jazz.
like weeks.
The problem is when you deal with a PETA customer and, they just rile you up before the episode and then you're just like, all the energy's sapped.
That's 127 episodes, folks. We've been around working here at the Sawdust Nation Podcast. Of course, you're listening to your smooth host, Nick from NPG Creations, Nap from Nap's Naughty Works over here, and Josh from North Country Woodworking. We are here for you. This is the Sawdust Nation Podcast.
I feel like this is like one of those smooth time coffee
Smooth
talk
jazz,
times. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm digging
While
it.
we,
Kick your
talk
feet back,
about our
relax. Take a chill pill, jive turkey. We're going to get to you some soul with the what's going on in Josh's shop.
Thank you for tossing it over to me real quick. I wasn't quite ready for that. But hey,
That's okay.
no.
So that's like
You
the
do it to
closest
me
thing.
every episode.
That's the closest thing we've ever had to a cold opening.
Yeah.
That is actually,
Yeah.
but it was pretty good. It was actually kind of, it was refreshing. It was different.
Yeah,
And it's super cold here in Minot, so it definitely matches.
How cold is it up there?
his balls are
stand by.
shriveled.
I'll tell you, honestly, that's pretty damn.
Well, he's
if
already
that, if that was
sitting
an
where
actual
he's-
measurement for temperature, that is pretty close. It is, hang on, it's a smooth 16 degrees, but 14 degrees, feels like -4. Back
it's
to
a
you,
heat
Josh.
Well, it's a little warmer up here. I think we're getting down to the 27th degrees tonight, but definitely a heat wave compared to you. The shop is staying nice and warm for the most part until I open that door. And then the cold soak comes in, and basically all that cast iron catches that cold and holds on to it. Takes a couple of days for it to warm up, but
Really?
let's see. Thanksgiving, yeah, it does.
You don't have a space heater in your garage?
I do, but I'm trying not to run it too much. Yeah.
It's free energy, bro.
Yeah, I know. It is free energy. But yeah, well, let's see. Thanksgiving was great. I went up to upstate New York, got to see some family, spent some time with my mom and dad. Kids got to see the grandparents. We got to eat some great turkey and food and catch up on old times and new times and everything in between. We actually went hunting for one of those days. Got to see
You went hunting. What'd you hunt for?
deer. Yeah.
Did you get any?
No, it came close though. I did shoot at something, but I missed. Come to find out, you should practice from not only the ground but a stand. And I knew that going in, and I was just going out to sit out there because, I haven't got to go this year. So I was just happy to A, go out, and then B, when I saw something, and then C, get to shoot at something. I had a good shot. I aimed a little too high, and I missed. Which I'd rather have a clean miss and not get the deer than hit it and not be able to find it. So I am thankful for that. So anytime you get to go out is a blessing, and anytime you get to see something, it's even more so. Well, going into the shop and woodworking, which you're all here for, I finished a couple projects. I finally got out the education logo patch thingy bob. delivered that, which was nice just before we left. I also just finished up a hammer that's going out tomorrow. I typically don't use Towboat fast performance, high performance, fast drying hardener much, but this time around I did. I had it open already. So I'm kind of nervous because I don't use it very often and I'm worried about bubbles. So I actually have it on the kitchen counter. You see me jumping up and checking on it. It's because of that. I usually use slow hardener and it works great. Gives it time for everything to get out of it, the bubbles out and whatnot. So
it's actually not as gaseous as you might think, Josh, because I've used fast hardener in a pinch a couple times. And as long as you sealed the wood good, I mean, or whatever it is you're epoxying, it'd be fine.
Yeah, I'm just inlaying a coin. It's typical hammers that I do.
Oh, it'd be fine.
Yeah, I whipped it out pretty quick today. I meant to go ahead and work on it ahead of time, but, life's just gotten busy. I don't know what it is this last half of the year, but everything is just keeping me busy. So my little one's pretty sick right now. The fever, the chills and all that. So the whole house is pretty much on lockdown, trying to get, her better. And I think we're all catching it at the same time, which is fun. So, I go radio silent. It's me coughing in the background again. Anywho, I got to get the 3D printer printing again. I have a couple more parts that I have to ship off to a client. I just got a job today to engrave 7 Yeti mugs. It's going to be 2 logos on there and a name. But, the only thing I gotta do is engrave them. They provided PNG files for everything they wanted, including the font. And
that's good.
Yeah, and they're including the mugs as well. So the only thing I got to do is laser engrave them. So I'm pretty excited about that.
And don't fuck them up. No, sorry.
Yeah, don't mess them up. Yeah, that's this there too. We'll see what happens.
But I mean, they're probably easy to replace. They're probably typical engraving mugs, though.
They do. I think these have the handle on them. So I haven't done one with the handle yet.
Put a rice bag in it.
Yep, definitely going to. So we're going to take it slow and make it happen.
Josh,
I got 75. Go ahead.
Sorry, man. Did you get that upgraded rotary tool?
Or make the attachment for it?
Yes, I did make the attachments for the rotary. So I should be able to I should be good to go. I've done different mugs, practice mugs, if you will. I asked for some in the shop, and a bunch of people brought some in, missing lids and whatnot, so they didn't care about them. And I got to practice and see how those attachments work, and they work pretty well. It holds it down and allows it to rotate just like it would with the rice bag. A lot better, actually, because you're not worried about it shifting.
It's good downward pressure.
Yeah, pretty much. And, it's basic spring. I forget where I got the spring from, but I had one laying around that worked perfect for it. So, let's see. What else do I got going on? I have that. I have 75 ornaments due on the 9th. I need to get out. So I'll be pumping those out here this weekend, and then additional 225 after that before Christmas. So laser is definitely going to get its work in. I'll be experimenting more with the laser heads upcoming week as well, just so I can see which one's going to work the best. I have a strong feeling the 2.5 inch focal length lens is going to be where it's at. For what I'm going to be doing, because I'll be able to cut through stuff a lot faster. But I will say I'm still using my original focal lens that I had and adjusted, and that thing's doing really good. I just cut through walnut, half-inch walnut in one pass. So, I mean, I definitely dialed that in, and it's kind of heartbreaking to take it out and put something else in there and have to dial it in too. But as I do it, I get faster each time, which helps in the production line. And I need to learn these new lenses. I got them. I have to utilize them. It's just how the cookie crumbles. But other than that, shop's a mess. Definitely have to clean it up. I spent some money in the shop this last week, basically getting some 3M for the vinyl I'll be working with, not vinyl, acrylic that I'll be working with. But it's $250 on that. If you're a Patreon, you can see Nap actually messing around with some right now.
I'm actually working on a project as he's speaking right now. Multitasking at its finest.
It is. And if you start working with this 3M material, you're going to realize it's so much better than glue. The capabilities behind it is awesome. And if you get the look, some people really like peeling stuff. So there's that too.
I do. It's like ASMR. Like, it's the best thing in the world.
So if you're a Patreon, you get to watch that too. Other than that, I just got to knock out the chest, the ornaments, and then those cups. I have some other clients asking questions about different projects and before Christmas, but no one's really gotten back to me. So there'll probably be last minute orders, and I have to tell them the new price. But we all know how that works. Yeah. It seems to happen more and more, especially during the holidays.
Can you do this for me at the last minute? Sure, for an extra $50.
Well, that's more expensive than the original quote. Well, it's also 2 weeks later.
It's the last minute.
Yeah, it's what happens, unfortunately. I did have a listener reach out to me, and funny enough, they actually reached out to me while I was in the tree stand. So we text each other when we're in the tree stand, if we get something or, if we're getting cold one head in, whatever. And my phone vibrated and I'm like, okay, I check it. And it was a listener asking about one of the apps I mentioned in this last episode. And John Grubb, I'm going to get his username here, Grub Make, asked me what app I was using for basically designing new pieces for 3D printing. So we went over that and started a little conversation. It was nice getting to know him. I just wanted to mention him here on the podcast. So if he listens again, he knows that, I appreciate him reaching out for that question. I did end up buying one of the programs I mentioned, Affinity Design. I didn't buy the whole package, just the designer portion, because, well, that's what I need right now. I could have bought the whole package for a discounted price, but honestly, I don't think I'll even use it. And nothing's worse than buying $60 worth of product for you're not going to use. So that's about it. Between the programs, 3D printing, and getting busier in the shop, I do have plans of jumping back on Instagram for my hiatus there for a moment. Just wanted to spend some time with family and get caught up and doing the things I need to at work. So I do have some stuff to post, and that'll be coming up here soon. But yeah, other than that, let's go ahead and toss it over to Nick because he's waiting patiently down there. He's had an interesting week. I've heard a little bit about it so far. So Nick, what's going on in your shop?
Well, the last time we spoke was Tuesday of last week, right? So Tuesday, Wednesday, I've been steadily clearing off orders. Thursday happened. That was Thanksgiving. Had a good time. Had some family over. Friday, spent the day in the hospital. It was fantastic. Woke up with a swollen uvula. And if you want to know the difference between a uvula and a labia, it's the taste. No, honestly though, uvula is that, looks like a punching bag in the back of your throat.
Little dangly thing in the back of your throat.
Right. What? Mine swelled up so big that I was having trouble swallowing and breathing, so I had to go to the hospital. First time I ever been on an ambulance ride. For some reason, they couldn't find my blood pressure. They couldn't get it right when they were trying to take it, and I just told them to mark me as DOA. They were fucking laughing so hard. Anyway, long story short, I'm all good now. Resumed shop work and dealing with PETA customers. What's up?
What happened? I mean, what was the cause?
I sucked too much cock on Thanksgiving. No, no, I don't know, man. I was recovering from being sick, and they just said that I was coughing and everything, and it must have irritated my uvula. They gave me some steroids and stuff, pump me full of a whole bunch of drugs and called it good.
I'm debating sharing with everybody what I have different than normal. Mine is split.
Oh, you got
so it's not
lips.
No, not vagina. It was more like a ball sack in the back of my throat. But yeah, that's something, a little tidbit for everyone out there.
Anyway, yeah, sorry, man. That sucks that you have a split uvula. But just dealing with some PETA customer issues right now, and that, you could be in the best mood, and one person can totally just like wreck your day just by them being presumptuous and entitled. Entitled
would be the best category. Like, you can label that, gentleman.
So, and I know that for a fact I've explained my situation, how I'm not a large production shop, how I'm not even like a storefront. I'm just a dude in my garage that does stuff for money. Kind of like a hooker. But
sometimes on camera.
Sometimes on camera. Anyway, long story short, I reached out to Josh today because it was like the 11th hour and this guy just got back to me and he moved his timeline was unrealistic for me. Oh, sorry. So his timeline was unrealistic for me to have the product completed. So I was like, you know what? Before I tell him straight up, like, no, go F yourself, this is why. Let me see if I can find him an alternative to, at least so he can still get what he wants. Maybe Josh can get what he wants. Josh deserves out of the deal if this gentleman decides to go that route. And even so, like, Josh accommodated. Josh was like, yeah, I'll take the job. And, obviously going to charge him a little more. And I got to ship it. So it's going to be a little more. And then this guy's complaining about shipping now. It's like, okay, man. So I don't know. Anyway, Nap's over there with his. Oh, looks good, man. I like it. Nap's got his.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, Nick. I know I gave you stuff for the longest time about acrylic on wood, but dude, every day I mess with this stuff. It just looks so much cooler.
Yep.
I know. You just got to watch out for that copyright infringement.
Hey, listen. You see, the thing is, this is Champs, okay? So it's not the legit thing. All right?
Okay. Well, I mean, the lawyers will take care of that. Anyway.
That's fine.
It looks like he's a smaller Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, change the size of the Thunderbolt.
The size of the Thunderbolts, how much it shocks you.
Yes.
And it will shock you.
Anyway, I close on my house on the 19th. It's been written. So my shop is down on the 15th for good here at this residence. Anything that I have.
People reach out to me, while you're moving.
Yeah, so if you need anything from NPG Creations, go fuck yourself. No, I'm playing. If you need anything from NPG Creations, go call Naps Naughty Works LLC or check him out on Instagram or call North Country Woodworking at Fort Dix, New Jersey, and they'll get you squared away. But
love that shit. Congrats, man. Getting that house. It's going to be a game changer for you.
That's right. 630 square foot of space for me.
Screw the whole house. You're just like the square footage of the garage. That's what matters.
Dude,
that's
everybody's asking, bro, you got pictures of your house, bro? You got pictures? Let me see. And I'm like, yeah, I got 2 pictures. I have a picture of the outside of the house from the front. And I have a picture of the garage. And they're like, that's all you took? I'm like, that's all I needed. That's all I needed, really. So, yeah. We might have a special guest coming to visit next weekend. I don't know if he's coming for sure or not, but his name rhymes with Bat Coltner. Yeah, he might be coming to San Antonio next week. I don't know.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Who knows?
Man, if only I was still in San Antonio, because I'd love to meet Matt in person. It'd be great.
No. It's Bat Colton.
Sorry, Bat.
It's
Bat
not
Coltner.
confirmed yet, so I have to. From and other than that, though, just trying. Oh, I ordered some Barina lights for the shop, the new shop.
Nice. You
can get 10. Now I found this out from, what's his name? That gentleman we had him on the podcast. Wow, shoot.
We've had a lot of people on the podcast.
I know. He's one of the nicest guys. No, this gentleman works at Woodcraft now. Please cut this part
Sauter.
out.
I don't know.
No.
I'm just naming random names because we've had people recently and then
America
people of late.
No.
Lamp.
He was he's a retired Army guy. No.
You're talking about Sergeant Maker, right?
No, Ed Mancini.
Oh.
Wow.
So that was like during my, what was it? The episode I was barely here for. I don't remember talking about that.
Cut the previous part out. I don't want Ed to think that I don't remember who he is. Ed Mancini, I was talking to him about the new shop. And he pointed me in the direction of the shop lights that are LEDs. You can get 10 sticks that are 8 foot long of the LED shop lights, and they all plug into each other. And it's like $170. So you get 80 foot of light. Yeah. They all plug into each other with a cord. So you can go on Amazon.com and look up Barina lights. You can buy them
be like
for the shop.
Sun.
Yeah. So, I was actually seriously debating on how I was going to do the lighting situation in the new shop, because it's going to be such a larger surface area. And 4 foot lights are what I got at Harbor Freight, but those are like $30 a piece. So for $170, $165, I got 80 feet of light.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Anyway, so he said that Pete from Petrie's Workshop swears by him, I guess. And so yeah, we'll see, man. I'm gonna go put them up as soon as we close. I'm gonna be in the garage with a ladder, throwing them up. But other than that, that's all I got going on, man. I'm trying not to buy anything because I don't want to make any.
Did you settle on your laminate epoxy floor? You're going laminate for sure?
So I actually did this. I am hiring an electrician first, and whatever's left over will allow me to do what I need to do.
Well,
so that will dictate. So, now, what do you got going on in your shop, man?
Well, as you guys were saying, I was playing with acrylic. It's crazy how fast you can actually do acrylic cutouts once you got your files and stuff made, and you have your plan of attack. So I've been the past few acrylic jobs. How I've been doing them is I'll do my full image, did the tracing, did all the things, or had the tracing done, and then import the vector, and then I'll sit there with a side by side comparison. Okay, this needs to be this color, this needs to be this color, blah 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 blah. Well, what I've been doing is doing an exploded view of each one of the images on Lightburn, and I'll open another separate Lightburn, and I'll control copy the particular layer that's going to be whatever color it's going to be, bring it over, I'll cut it, and then I'll delete that off so I have a blank canvas, and then go to the next group of things, throw it on the blank canvas, etch it out, delete it, and then I'll just do that, ping ponging back and forth between them. Well, in the middle of doing that for the particular piece I was working on, if you're Patreon, you'll see it, and then if you don't see it because you're Patreon, it'll be on Instagram one of these days. But I was able to paint 3M and laser in a matter of 35 minutes. Did all the acrylic work in 35 minutes.
Nice. And
then I sat here and glued it down in 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we'll call it 20 minutes that you guys were talking. And that was just how fast that was. And that's why I was saying, I'm starting to fall more and more in love with doing the acrylic work. Now, mind you, I won't do it for everything because there's certain things, people still want epoxy from time to time. People just want straight wood etchings, whatever the case may be. But if people give me the opportunity to do acrylic, if it's a fairly easy one, because I'm going to tell you right now, I do not want to do another eagle in acrylic. That was absolutely terrible. There were so many small pieces, and I think I spent more time putting those pieces in than I did the rest of the stuff. But I'll do things that have bigger pieces and maybe a couple smaller pieces. But it's definitely something. It looks very clean. You don't have to worry about like paint coming up. Nothing. It's there.
That's the big thing. Is not having to worry about paint or painting. Yeah. So
and once that 3M's on there, once the 3M's on there, it practically seals it. So like, there's really nothing to worry about. Like for this particular piece, if you saw it, it's on a mahogany circle, and I'm actually going to Rubia monocoat the rest of the exposed wood. If you're watching, you'll see that there was a square in the opening. I'm actually going to take a piece of cherry and do a small wood inlay in the center for a wooden plaque, because I don't have any metal plaques. And I said, hey, why the heck not? I'll go just try a little piece of cherry, see what happens. I'm sure it'll look good. Do a little mix and match, and customer has already seen it and is already liking it. He thinks it's awesome. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. That's that Chargers Champs logo thing that I talked about last week. And then I got Ben's coin rack over here. It's got felt glued to the bottom right now. I got to obviously cut the excess, but that's finished in Rubia monocoat with the fast hardener or cure stuff or whatever. And I can tell you right now, I did this an hour and a half ago. It's already dry.
Who's that for?
Ben's son-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah, I just did a little work for him. It was something quick. It's because he's getting all these coins and he wanted a coin rack for him. So I said, yeah, I'll make something simple for you, and send it his way. And then what else I got going on? I got some rough walnut from somebody for free to do this trophy for the other organization. He donated that to them, so I'm going to use that to make the trophy. And I'm not charging as much as I typically would because, well, the wood's being provided for me. And really the build isn't going to be that hard. It's 3 tiers, and then we're going to put something on top of it that's bought on Amazon, and then put a bunch of laser plates around it. So it's really not going to be all that labor intensive. It's going to be some miters, some gluing, some filling of some nails, finishing essentially is really all it's going to be. It's not going to be anything extravagant. Well, I mean, it could be to some folks, I guess. And then what else I got going on in here? Oh, those I already said I shipped those baby shadow boxes off, or was I in the middle of doing that? I think I was in the middle of doing that last time. Yeah, they're gone. I just got a message from that customer, and every time I send a package, I give tracking. I give tracking because I don't want the question, when is my package showing up? So I always say, hey, it's going to arrive this day. Here's your tracking. When is arrival? I said, funny thing about tracking, ... tomorrow. And he goes, shake my head, oh, snap. And then do I have to sign for it? I was like, well, no. I mean, it's just going to arrive at your door. I mean, it'd be fine. So there's that. Those are gone. I had a UPS incident, which kind of actually scares me about this particular job, about those shadow boxes going. I packed the ever-living hell out of those shadows boxes. I even did the same thing for those gator signs I sent out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 5 of them got broken. Flat. Yes, 5 of them. So half of them, pretty much. Half of the gator signs. Not the actual heritage boards, but just the hallway signs. And I'm thinking to myself, I said, I wrapped each individual one in bubble wrap and then wrapped around that in the box. How in the hell do you break flat pieces of wood? Tell me that.
Someone dropped something heavy on it.
But the thing is, he said the boxes looked fine. So I was like, okay, well, what is your definition of fine? I probably should ask that question. But at the same time, it said fragile on it. And I got told by somebody, when you put a fragile sticker, it just means they want to kick it off the back of the truck more. I was like, but that's so backwards. So if there's anything wrong with these shadow boxes, I'm telling you guys, like, if there's a way to punish UPS, I'm going to do it. I'm going to find a way.
Wrap your stuff. Then you get, insurance from them.
I guess, but I mean, it shouldn't have to go through all that just to ship a package.
You know what?
Why do I have shipping packaging material in my office right now? Oh, wait, so I can pack my own crap the way they pack it.
I can pack your crap.
But when they pack it,
I bet you can.
They're liable.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll arrive fine. I actually purposely did not pack all 4 in one box. I actually put 2 in each box. They have I will tell you a massive amount of bubble wrap, and it's like this corrugated, kind of like shredded cardboard, but really thick cardboard. And I packed that stuff all around it. What's up, Josh?
Ben is like, try bubble wrap on the outside of the box.
Like Bubble Boy, that thing. Like now that would be funny. But yeah, so it's obnoxiously packed, and if they're at all damaged, I will be very upset because I spent enough time on damn things, and I hate to tell the customer, but I'm not doing refunds on that. Like I don't do refunds. It's in my policy. Like literally, as I send my invoices, there's a policy. There's no refunds. My shipping, you see the package, you see it get packaged. Like I actually send pictures of the packaging to the customer, how it was packaged inside.
Did you buy insurance?
Yes.
Okay, then that's on them then.
But they're not going to honor it though. Last time I did that, they went, "Oh no, sorry,
no." I'm saying like it's now on the receiver's responsibility to file the claim. Because they're the ones that have possession of the package, and
that the funny thing about that is when you actually know the person, you can't just ignore them.
Yeah,
that's the really bad part about it. So I haven't actually spent that money yet because I'm just waiting for it to be broken and whatever the case may be. And by spend that money, I mean put it in my account, in my personal account to help pay for bills because I'm the only income right now until my wife gets her job, and that's no fault of her own. She's just waiting on a process right now. So that's gone. Those other things, it's just I'm afraid of things getting broken in shipping. If it does get broken, I might have to rethink this whole shipping thing and start charging an astronomical amount of shipping and packaging in such a way that requires like Kaizen foam or something to laser. At this point, it's come to that, which it's irritating, but anyways. So there's that. What else do I got going on? I really don't have any other jobs per se. I got a going way to finish for a guy at work Friday, but I don't. Me and the boss, we work on those together. So we don't he supplied me with material, and I don't charge my time for that because it's not difficult. It's really not. It takes me an hour to make them. So between him and I, it takes an hour for me. So I'm not really worried about it too much. I think actually, before the episode I had Thanksgiving at work and my flag was presented. A lot of people asked about it. The other plaque was presented. A lot of people asked about it. So there's a lot of that going on right now. I'm making annual awards in May, which is very far ways away from now. But we're planning. I'm part of the planning committee. So who would have thought I would have not plugged myself for the annual awards? Because why not? That's how you get your name out there. So that's really kind of all that's going on in the shop. Did I have anything special? My 2.2 kilowatt spindle. Sorry, Daniel. I know we was trying to get this thing to my house, and then now it sits here in a box. This weekend, though, I will be installing it. I'm very excited. However, Onefinity, if you're listening, I have a bone to pick with you. Not really a bone to pick, but I gotta say, if we're not sponsored by Onefinity, any of those things, but I gotta tell you, they just done another amazing thing. They now have a 4x4 Onefinity out, but it's the Elite series. Why is it Elite, you may ask? Did they just make it bigger and call it Elite? No. There is so many things that are about to happen in the hobbyist CNC world that won't require you to get, if you can't afford, let's say, because not everyone has the same means, same amounts of money, right? For maybe not, I think it's $1,500 more than the biggest one they have now. It's leagues better. It's got a Mazo controller for those that know what they're Mazo, I don't know, tomato, right? It's an all-in-one screen with the controller. There's no longer a controller box. It's just the screen. And then it's 4x4. It's extra sturdy if you go look at it. Okay, it's got this thing called Nick's probably gonna say something, but it's got something called Stiffy Bar. Okay, it obviously makes the machine more rigid, but for this particular machine, it's already very rigid as it is, and just to add that, it's just absolutely ridiculous as far as integral structural integrity. And then they have this heavy duty Z slider. So kind of like the Shapeoko, how they had their HDZ. Well, they made this Z slider that they currently have beefier, and obviously we'll be able to handle more torque, which I was like, man, this other one you have is already killing the game. So that thing, that's just overkill, but I'm overkill. So I love getting, the stuff that's hopefully not bound to break. I would assume not. But yeah, so if you haven't already, check out that new Infinity because it is a freaking monster. And I'm excited to upgrade my Journeyman. I want to buy a new machine. I won't get all the goodies because certain things only come with that machine. Mm-hmm. But I will get the, Meso controller, the proximity switches, all the things that come with what makes the elite, just not the size, which is fine. Because I don't need a 4x4 machine right now. I just don't. I don't ever use any more than maybe 2.5 on my y-axis. So
right,
yeah, I'm sure Nick's always got a funny joke over there. I wonder what he was thinking about 2.5 feet. Wait, what have you seen that's 2.5 feet? Because that's just Guinness World Records.
2.5 inches.
Oh, okay. But yeah. So that's really all I got going on in the shop. Now, typically, lately, we haven't had a whole lot of questions, but I did get some questions from Jason. And I asked him, I was like, hey, dude, do you got an official IG handle yet or anything? Because, just calling you Jason on the show,
who's Jason?
Can't really... Yeah, I can't just, I can't plug you the way we typically would plug our, folks that give us questions. But Jason... he texted me 2 questions. Always has a lot of good questions for me on the side. But the first question, it kind of goes to Josh's point with cast iron and those things being cold, taking a while to warm up, but also just being weathered and have been sitting and whatever the case may be. But he asks, how often, if ever, do you deep clean on your tools? So actually do deep maintenance. And do you ever go through and make sure that things are still true?
Oh, all the time, man. I usually check it twice a week.
Bullshit.
No, I'm talking. I'm at least checking my tool twice a week, making sure it shoots straight. What,
dude?
The only thing straight about that is that fucking smile. Look at that.
Every day. I'm running calibration ops every day.
Yeah, mushroom stamp good. Mushroom stamp good.
All right, hey, hold on. 30 seconds plus or minus 10. All right, we're good. Anyways, so Nick, what do you do, man?
How often
in the shop, not your actual tool.
How often do I deep clean my cast iron?
Deep clean anything, any of your tools, and checking if they're true or still aligned.
I usually check alignment before I use. So table saw, not so often, because I use it so often that it usually stays at a 90 degree. The blade stays at a 90 degree for the most part. But anytime I do go ahead and change it, change the degree on the blade, I will use a gauge to get it back to 90 every time.
Yep.
Everything else as case by case basis. I run a lot of test cuts on things just to see if it's gonna do what I need it to do. Say a bandsaw or my domino, because I'm not too good with reading the I don't know if you guys noticed on the dominoes from Festal, but they have writing etched into them. It's so hard to see.
Why don't you fill them with paint and wipe it off?
What's that?
If it's etched in the metal, why don't you fill it in with
it's etched on the wood on the beach. The beach wood.
Oh, I don't have
on the actual dominoes. It's instead of me spending 5 minutes flipping this domino back and forth around trying to figure out what measurement it is, I'll run whatever bit I have in the domino into a piece of scrap wood, and then I'll see which one fits. See which domino I have fits, and then I'll
I mean, that's
if I need to go up, I go up. What's that?
That's one use for your scrap wood. I'm not going to say I don't use things like that for testing.
Yeah, but I do a lot of calibration on the laser. A lot. I do check all that stuff all the time. But other than that, it's a fucking shit show, man. My cast iron looks like dog shit. My cast iron looks like it's terrible. Looks terrible on my table saw right now. Josh?
I do the same thing with my table saw. If I move it out of 90 degrees, I'll go ahead and measure it and make sure it's 90 when I bring it back. As far as anything else goes, it's case in case, just like you. If I'm using my joiner, I'll be looking at it one time, be like, what's the last time I checked? I'll reach over, make sure it's at 90, and then I'll start to cut. And then for like the CNC or anything like that, you know, if it's cutting weird or like I see that, you know, my wasteboard has swollen a little bit, I'll go ahead and flatten it. And when I'm done doing that, I'll brush it off and kind of go through everything, make sure all the belts are tight. And it just kind of, when I see an issue, I don't just stop at the issue. I kind of go through the tire machine because I'm already taking time for that. I might as well take time for the tire machine, do a quick inspection, tell me what I need to tighten. Laser's a little different just because I'm trying to learn more into it. And because of that, I'm trying to get more proficient and fast at aligning things and just making it so that, you know, it will perform 100%. So I have spent a lot more time on that lately. As far as the rest of the tools in cast iron, when I see a spot, I try to clean it. I'll clean up the shop, and then if I have time, I'll go ahead and fix that spot. And then I usually try to get all the cast iron at the same time. That way, at least I know, knock it out. But
I gotta ask you, when you have visitors come into the shop and they're carrying like a can of Coca-Cola or a bottle of water,
yeah,
what's the first thing they go to put that bottle of water down on?
On the damn cast iron.
On the goddamn cast iron every time.
It's almost like they're attracted to it.
It's a freaking magnet, dude. It's a freaking magnet.
And you look at them and you go, hey, can you put that over there, please? And they go, why? I was like, because that's cast iron. And they're like, well, what does that mean?
Why?
I was like, because you're going to rust my table saw top. And I just got done doing the stuff to it.
Yeah.
You know, to be fair, I've done it myself where I put a piece of wood on there that it's not 100% dry, and I come back the next day and there's the freaking rust in the shape of the piece. And it's like, that's when I say, you know, I don't really have a schedule. I wish I did. If I was in the shop every day, I probably would. But it's just like, if that case, I'm going to probably do cast iron at the end of the day. I'm going to do it all at once. I'm going to get everything greased up, get, you know, shined and everything else.
That's what I do.
It's just, you shine your cast iron, you polish
Get it
it.
greased up, baby.
Yeah.
Nice and shined.
What do you use to finish off your cast iron?
Minwax,
KY jelly.
paste wax.
What?
I mean, it's waterphobic, right?
No, I use Minwax or Johnson & Johnson's
Paste
wax.
Paste wax.
No, baby oil.
Slipping and sliding on your freaking cast iron. Yes.
No. Yeah, I use the... so that's another thing. Like, you know, even if it's dirty, you can go ahead and... If, like, you're having trouble, like, getting some resistance with cuts and stuff with friction, you can go ahead and put that paste wax on there, and it starts gliding again. So even though it's dirty, It doesn't matter.
I put that shit in everything.
Yeah.
You put that stuff on everything?
I put that stuff in everything.
This is going to be live, raw episode.
Just with the cut stuff.
We could always do one episode as a teaser, and we could have it be this one where it's just
explicit episode.
I mean, we're not saying anything crazy, so I mean, why not?
Cock.
What do you guys think? We have Patreons to tell us what they want to do because you know they kind of own a little bit of this podcast.
Yeah, they pay for this explicit content, so
I know. So we should probably get permission from them to make sure they're okay with it.
Why don't you ask the patrons? Ask them if they want to hear us raw and uncut more so than our good cheeky censored selves.
Maybe we should put a poll out there on those stories and see
put your poll out there.
I bet.
Put some paste wax on it too. While you're at it,
they're gliding real good.
All right.
Moving on.
Yes. So is it my turn? Is that
yeah? How do you polish your wax? I mean, polish your
polish my wax. Wow. So it's funny you talk about deep cleaning tools and things because I deep clean my tool all the time. No.
Read the chat.
Okay, I actually need to pull that up because I was a little behind getting to that. So I'm gonna talk and read the chat at the same time. So typically, I don't deep clean until I do see an issue, kind of like you guys were talking about. Like if I start seeing rust, I'm like, yeah, I'm not just gonna like fix this one bit of rust because that's just weird. You have like the one shiny spot in the middle of the cast iron, and you're like, and that's gonna bother me now. And then let's see, and I'm here, and I'm gonna do that. Okay, cool. Whoa, holy chat, Batman. Oh yeah, Rocklet, yeah. Oh, good lord.
Fucking entertain me. Thanks, bitch.
But no, so I'll typically clean everything if I do start to clean something. But recently, so you guys talking about the Johnson & Johnson wax. Now, that's the stuff I used to use. The only thing I'm not particular about with that stuff is it can be quite liquidy, and you got to wait for it to dry. So the stuff, when I was in San Antonio, it was like that because it was hot as
Yeah, not no more, though. You're up in the Great White North.
Right.
It should be like ice.
But in my exploration of different paste wax, because I was like, I'm going to try something else. Well, I already had something else that I brought with me because I was like, I'll give this a go one of these days. I have the Min Wax paste wax and it's like a solid block of wax that you literally have to like dig out. And I actually use my Orca buffing pad with my Merca, and I freaking buff that stuff on. I put that on when I first got here. I haven't had to apply wax to my table saw at all. It still has the wax sheen, and everything still glides.
But you're not using your table saw as much.
I use it more than you think.
As much as you were in Texas?
I mean, no, I guess not. But I mean, I'm still using it every day, though. Like, just not maybe to the same, production rate. But I mean, I used it today. I used it for at least.
I'm not saying you're not using it. That's not what I'm trying to get at here. I'm trying to say is you might have to apply it more because you were utilizing it more.
I mean, time. Sure, but I mean, 6 months. Like I've been here almost 6 months now already. It's great. Wow, and it's working out fine. Now, as far as checking trueness of my stuff, for my tools, my power tools, my table saw, and the things. So the table saw, yeah, like Nick, I don't really check it very often because once it's 90, that T-slide system, or the T-glide system that they have on the saw stops, it stays pretty true. Like once you set it, it's solid. Now, if something does go awry,
talking about the blade.
Well, I mean, okay, so even the blade. So the blade, I'll use a digital, calibration block, the ones that you put on there and you roll it. I don't check that again unless I adjust it. But like recently, I was off by like a C hair, and I noticed it because
mathematical.
It is
measurement, by the way.
And the only reason why I started using it more was because my joiner was acting up, and I didn't know why. And I was like, "What in the F is going on with this joiner?" Well, yesterday I finally got tired of it because I was like, "No, I'm going to fix this stupid thing." So I eventually fixed it, and we'll just say that when you do it, the infeed and the outfeed move, if you didn't know. Mm-hmm. So I had to adjust my infeed side of my joiner, and I got it to line back up again. But my bandsaw is a rusty mess. I haven't cleaned it because, well, it's a paperweight still at the moment. It was rusty when I left freaking San Antonio. I just haven't cleaned the cast iron table on it, and I will when I go to use it again. But yeah, so I clean it. I typically clean stuff when I clean the shop good, but that's not very often. I only really clean when I have to.
I gotta say, I gotta work around for the joiner, checking the fence on the joiner, because I realize that's something that I always like. It always gets pushed out of whack for me because I'm moving it back and forth and stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of just taking a square and putting it up there every time and making sure it's just right, I will run that son of a bitch. If I'm edge joining, I'll run that son of a gun against the fence until the edge is flat or seemingly flat, and then I will put it against the fence on the table saw. I will parallel it, and then I'll flip it, and then I'll get it like completely parallel. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll rip it twice, and that's just a little bit of a undo the T-lock on the table saw fence, give it a little tap her in, and then cinch her back down and send the board back through. saves me a boatload of time, especially when I'm doing a lot of joining. So
yeah, but yeah, I'd say, like Josh was saying, probably doing a deep clean or cleaning the tools a little more often would probably be a good thing because that's preventative maintenance for possible issues later. But, I guess to each their own. We learn as we go. If we mess something up because we didn't clean something, well, that'll be a mistake you don't make again, right? But to get his second question, so good answers, good first question, Jason, and I'm trying to get my freaking text messages back up. There it is. All right, the second one is, do you all keep an inventory of your tools and supplies? Here in Denver, garages get broken into all the time, and I know if you keep a digital copy of an inventory, it helps. I use USAA, not sponsored, and they said the turnaround is quicker if you have a detailed list of your tools. So do you guys have an inventory of your tools?
Yes.
Nick, go ahead.
When I check them out at TMSK. No, I don't have a freaking inventory, man. I've got so many tools that, like, if I was to inventory these tools, right, I would have a hard time finding them even if I did still have them all. Plus I don't know, man. It's just, who asked this question?
Jason did.
Jason, come on, man. You're making me work. Yeah, I mean, I've got invoices for all the shit that I've paid for. If I'm missing something, like, it's got to be pretty big for me to call USAA or to file an insurance claim on it. But, like, if I walk into my garage and my table saw's gone one day, yeah, you bet your ass I'm filing a claim. But if, like, somebody stole a clamp, I'm not going to go ahead and pay a deductible on that,
Oh, man, that one freaking Pony Jorgensen clamp is gone. Oh, and it's just one. Not all of them, but one.
Yeah.
Just one.
They just took they separated it. Wouldn't that piss you off? They just took them apart and took one portion of each one, so you couldn't have any work.
Oh, dude, that's just cruel.
And freaking Victor, he's in the chat here. He goes, "Look at me, I have too many tools."
Come on, Victor.
What about you, Josh?
Nap?
Oh, me? Okay, so I would say I don't have a physical inventory, kind of like Nick said. But the one thing I do have, and this is something we do when we do like our military moves, and Jason, you know all about military moves and those things because you serve yourself. I have a video of my shop. Like, because that video, believe it or not, that's pretty hard proof of the stuff you own. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've probably taken multiple videos of my shop, and if, let's say, I can't find one, I'm sure I've got at least 15 to 20 more. But like Nick said, if it's a big tool, yeah, I'm probably gonna file a claim. But like here in North Dakota, knock on wood, there's not a lot of that going around now. Like where you're at, yeah, it might be more of a thing. San Antonio, yeah, it was a little weird there. I mean, depends on where you live.
Depends on where you're at. Yeah, what neighborhood you're in. You can't, like, I met a guy. Remember when I bought all that melamine when I first got here?
Yeah.
So that guy, I picked it up from him, and he said somebody had just, like, before I showed up, somebody had just ran in his garage and stole his drill and driver and ran out. Yeah. He's like, what do I do? It's a $500 set. What am I going to do? File a claim for a $500 set that's the deductible is going to be $500. You know what I mean?
500 for 500. Heck yeah.
So anyway,
Tim goes, they keep stealing my tape measures.
It's true.
Seriously though, like I seriously think like the gnomes in the garage steal my tape measures. I can never find them. I don't know where they go.
How about you, Josh? I know you got your garage door open in the summertime all the time. Fort Dix.
Oh shit! I leave it open all the time. Go inside, go back. I have 4 cameras in that garage. I have the entrance, the entire shop, each large piece of equipment, and if they want to steal something, go ahead. I'm gonna have my camera footage right there.
Smile, clown.
Pretty much. And you know the way I have the shop set up, you got to steal CNC or the laser first before you're getting anything else out. So good luck. It would be pretty hard for someone to take anything big out of the shop. As far as anything small, I'm with Nick. I have so many tools that sometimes I open a drawer and be like, oh, I'm glad I didn't go buy that.
Again.
Yeah, because, well, I mean, some things you use once and then you put aside and you need it again. Start looking around and remember you got it. But, if I wanted to, I could lock it up pretty tight because I use basically toolboxes for all my stuff. I have a key to each toolbox. I could lock that up, and most of everything goes in there. So there's not much they could really steal. But I would have to agree. My tape measures just disappear. I have like 5 or 6, and I can usually spot one maybe. So, and I have a small garage. I don't know how you guys with larger garages do it, but
I'll tell you, my son stole my tape measure once.
That little troll.
Brady, my youngest son stole a tape measure, and what they were doing was they were stretching it all the way out, and then from the front of the house to the back of the house. And then they would let go, and they thought it was funny to watch it, like race, right?
Ops check complied with.
Yeah, well, then my wife comes up to me. She's like, the boys are scared you're going to be mad. I'm like, about what? Like, what happened now? So apparently they pulled it too far, and they pulled the tape completely out of the – yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, on a $30 Milwaukee, like a nice tape measure that I got.
You got that tape measure money? You want to give that to me for breaking?
I was just like, whatever. Just might as well happen.
I gave my son his own. And I did it because I noticed he was trying to take mine to go use. So I just gave him one. Like one of the cheap Stanley ones.
Yeah.
And that pretty much gives him free reign on that and doesn't really touch mine too often.
But, okay, good questions, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, you made Nick work a little bit. He's probably like, damn it, I gotta go take an actual inventory now. Son of a. But those were all good questions, and especially depending on where you live, I think having inventory on your stuff is not a bad thing. And I'm pretty sure most larger like businesses that are storefronts, they probably have some kind of inventory as well. But also like Josh, he's got his security cameras, which those help. But I will tell you, don't be getting like a 420p camera and expecting to catch someone's facial features because you're probably not. So if you do end up getting like a security camera system, I would say that's one of those things you don't go too cheap on because those could actually be the make or break it point for, your tools getting stolen or not getting stolen. So,
Well,
but
right.
I think it's about that time, Nick.
All right, folks. Hey, so patrons, thanks for joining us this evening. You guys are making this episode possible. Also, we want you to be aware that next week is our first episode of December. So we should be doing a pretty nice giveaway for that. I don't know what we're giving away yet, but it's going to be probably something significant. Ben Warren, if you're listening, I need to see you this weekend probably because I have a tool for you that you won last month or the month before. I don't remember, but it's at my house. Anyway,
that hurt.
And if you guys are wondering, if you're listening and you're wondering how people win, all you have to do is literally subscribe to our YouTube, show up to our live events once a month, and just be present. And just your presence alone gives you an entry into the free drawings for the stuff that we give away. And if you become a patron, you get extra entries for that. So, and Ben Warren is one of our patrons. So is Donald Starnes. And Donald Starnes, I think he is he's
banned.
He's banned from winning because that guy has won everything so far. But otherwise, folks, thanks so much for tuning in and sharing some time with us. Also want to thank Daniel from PWNCNC for being our main sponsor. Check them out, pwncnc.com. Use promo code SawdustNation981 if you want 10% off your PWNCNC order. I'd also like to thank our affiliates, Makerstock.com and OhmTech Laser. So, and last but not least, Total Boat. Thanks, guys, for your continued support. All right. I'm going to kick it on over to
me. To me, over to Nap. This guy over here with his presidential flag. Da, 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 da. But if you are listening to us on Spotify, Pandora, really Apple Podcasts, any of those places you listen to this podcast, go to give us 5 stars. And if you don't give us 5 stars, let us know why, so we can give you the content that you deserve. But if you do give us 5 stars, go ahead and give us some topic ideas. Jason reached out and was like, hey, haven't heard a question in a while, and here I got some questions for you. When you give us those questions, well, it gives us some good stuff to give to you all. And for those that are even just brand new to the podcast, when they start listening, that's how we give really good information, and also gives us stuff to research and maybe educate ourselves on. Because, we don't know everything. We're, as Nick said, one-man shops. We don't have a whole lot of people other than the community to bounce ideas off of. So, keep bringing those questions, keep bringing those topic ideas, so we keep giving you good content every week here on the podcast. And if you want to get a hold of us, Josh, how do they get a hold of us?
If you have Instagram, get a hold of us at Sawdust Nation Podcast. You can reach out, slide in our DMs, and one of us will get back to you. Who? Who knows? It's half the fun. If you want to get a hold of us individually, go ahead and start it off with Nap from Nap's ID Works LLC. He'll hit him up. He'll answer back. We got Nick from MPG Creations and myself, Josh from North Country Woodworking. Let us know, topic ideas, questions, whatever you want to talk about. Hit us up and we'll get back to you. And if social media is not your thing, go ahead and reach out on our Gmail account and send us an email. And do the same thing there. Go ahead and send us topic ideas, questions, what you're working on. And you can do that by reaching out to sawdustnationpodcast@gmail.com. Finally, if you want to be part of the podcast experience, enjoy fine content as it's meant to be seen, raw and uncut, or just have some extra entries into our giveaways or some other benefits, become our Patreon. 3rd tier is the best tier. That's where you get to see everything live and raw and have fun in the chat while we're talking and recording. It's definitely added a lot to the podcast, and we thank our Patreons for that. With that, let's go with our final words, starting off with Nap.
Yeah, folks, so keep it short and sweet today because, we don't have any underhanded or subliminal messages, but I would say just keep taking care of each other, keep reaching out to each other for questions, concerns, project ideas, any of those things I've had. It never stops, and please keep the questions coming because it keeps me sharp, especially like the laser questions and stuff. I've had a lot of laser questions and just a lot of like woodworking stuff in general, and it's actually had me digging for certain information like to refresh my memory and or learn a thing or two. So keep them coming, keep making this community stronger, and appreciate you guys, and hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving that past week. But Nick, what you got, man?
Well, folks, take care of yourselves and each other. And, glad everybody got through Thanksgiving nice and safe. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week. I don't have any dirty jokes today, but I promise you I will have some for Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho.
Something to look forward to. We can unwrap that gift here soon. Thank you for joining us for the 127th episode. We appreciate you guys listening in. Make sure you listen in while you're drinking a beer, having a cup of coffee. But don't be drinking a beer and having a cup of coffee on your way to work while listening to us. No, we're going to skip that.
Yeah.
Listen to us. Yeah. The beer distracted me. I want one. Listen to us while you're having a cup of coffee on your way to work, at work, in the shop, in the backyard, shoveling snow. We don't care how you listen in. We just want to whisper in your ear. Go make some sawdust. Sawdust Nation out. Out.
And hey,
out.
Snapback makers, be proud. All right.
Yeah.
That's from Victor.
All right, guys. This was fun. Pretty good episode, too.
Yeah. It was
exhausted.
Good.
Fucking
you look it, and the funny thing is, the light's at the end of the tunnel, bud. You're almost there.
Dude, I gotta go sand 30 more ornaments right now, and I gotta have them ready tomorrow for the guy. So,
oof.
Yay!
Yeah, it'll be okay.
The fun of making.
It'll buff. Man, I really like this thing. This thing's nice.
Turned out good. Hey, thank you, Patreons, for showing up and giving the content that you gave us this time around. It's always a ball to have you guys in the chat, making us laugh. And we'll get you that poll on Patreon to see what your thoughts are about releasing this one uncut and raw.
Real quick, I just found a bunch of movie tickets from when I was in high school. All right, so check it out. I'm going to read one of the names of the movies, and I think you guys might have heard of it. I saw this movie at 7:45 p.m. Saturday, the 23rd of February of 2002. And this movie's title was Super Troopers. I have the ticket stub still.
Oh, wow.
You were gonna do a joke. Yeah.
No. Crazy, huh?
That was 2002?
2002.
That's crazy.
Yep. So, just so you know.
The more you know. With that, everyone have a good night.
All right, y'all. Bye.
Oh, I got Daredevil here, too, from 2003.
Yeah.
Old school.
Old school.